Pat Noonan and FC Cincinnati are at the top of Major League Soccer's table. How have they found success with such an unlikely recipe? Who are these people and what have they done with the real FC Cincinnati? From wooden spoon to top of the Supporters' Shield standings, let's figure out what is happening in Cincinnati. Without splashy signings or big-name coaches, FC Cincinnati has risen to the top of Major League Soccer with two words that we don't necessarily talk about enough when we talk about big clubs: balance and consistency. The manager, Pat Noonan, is the brains behind this operation, but today I want to highlight him because he's very different from the other managers that we usually profile and talk about all the time. What Pat Noonan is not is one of the most interesting parts of this whole story. This is Pat Noonan's first head coaching gig, but he did spend almost a decade under the tutelage of two of Major League Soccer's best coaches, Bruce Arena and Jim Curtin. And before that, he was a relatively successful player in Major League Soccer. Think of Pat Noonan as the Mikel Arteta or Vincent Kompany of Major League Soccer, a coach who learned from some of the best and also has the playing experience in that domestic league. What's so interesting to me about this team and about this coach is that he drives success through relationships and building a winning mentality, and he's not necessarily known for being a tactician. He's not driving an innovative style. No. He has sound ideas and he gets his team to buy into those principles. Let's talk about one of those main principles for FC Cincinnati, and it's to not get played through while in transition. Cincinnati will usually line up in a 3-4-1-2, and in a defensive transition, Noonan will ask his two center midfielders to man mark the pivots from the other team in the build-out.
If you get beat, the play that beats you is the long diagonal ball over the top. If that's the only thing that beats you, all right, that's okay, but they can't play through us.
Cincinnati will try to make it as difficult as possible for the other team to build possession from the back, and they aren't afraid to push higher up the field to do that. Now, I do want to stress that this is an entirely different strategy than gegenpressing or counterpressing that you might find at a team like St. Louis SC, who's trying to win the ball high up the field to build attacking moments. Yes, sometimes that might happen for Cincinnati because of where they are on the field and the pressure that they're exerting, but they're really using that final third press as kind of the first frontier of their defense. Forcing the attacking team that's in possession to disrupt their style of play or kick it long and have Cincinnati win the ball back, that is a win for Cincinnati. Now that's on the defensive side, and I think it's wild to consider that there's nothing really special or crazy happening on the attacking side either. What FC Cincinnati have done this season and what Pat Noonan is really trying to preach is being consistently good in every little moment. That consistency and the teamwork that they build makes everything tick. What you'll find with Cincinnati is they are not leading the league in any critical categories. They're not leading the league in goals scored. They're not leading the league in goals against or any expected goals or anything that you can think of that you would define as a team stat that you can look at to find success. Cincinnati is not at the top of the league in any of those, but you will find them in the top 10 in almost every single one of those categories. And what you find again and again is that balance and consistency are the drivers of this team's success. Earlier this year, after FC Cincinnati won 1-0 over Inter Miami, Pat Noonan in the post-game interview apologized to fans for the performance and promised that the team would be better moving forward. After a victory, that is the type of mentality that he's driving into his team. And let's not forget about the players that make everything go for Cincinnati. What I love about the way that this squad has been built little by little over the last 2 years is that they've built a really strong spine right up the middle of the pitch. Strong players like Roman Celentano at goalkeeper, who was a draft pick for Cincinnati and is now at 23 years old making it into the fringes of the USMNT depth charts. Then you have Matt Miazga at center back, Junior Moreno at center midfielder, Lucho Acosta, the captain, at center attacking midfielder, and Brandon Vazquez as striker. The way that this team is built is just chef's kiss of balance. While they will line up in a 3-4-1-2, in build-up it looks more like a 2-3-5, and in defense it looks more like a 5-2-3, where if the team has played through their press, then they're able to pack the box with players in their defensive third. We talked about the defensive pressing and man marking, and in attack they can hurt you in so many different ways. Either it's the clinical finishing of Brandon Vazquez, if it's the speed of Dominic Badji, or if it's the technique of Lucho Acosta. Now I know in every single one of my other videos I've pretty much jinxed the team. If it's Columbus Crew, they started losing. If it's Sporting Kansas City, they started winning. But I am confident in this team, in FC Cincinnati, that even when one or two players have an off night, the other part of the pitch and the other part of the team will step up The way that Pat Noonan has connected the club and the community is important for any team that's going to win the Supporters Shield and MLS Cup. And I do have confidence that Cincinnati can go very far this season, but I want to hear from you. Let me know down below in the comments, how long will Cincinnati stay at the top of Major League Soccer? For now, it looks like it'll be quite difficult to catch them. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, as that lets me know to make more videos like this. And we are so close to 10,000 subscribers, so make sure to do that and get us over the line. And if you do want to learn about a Major League Soccer coach that is doing things a little bit differently and trying to build artificial transitions, much like Brighton's Roberto De Zerbi, make sure to watch this video next.